Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I'm Mike, he's Jay. Tales from the Crypt. The shit crypt cunt-capulator continues.
Wow, the cunt-capulators.
My wiener's hard for chocolate.
Go outside and calm down. Submit it for your approval of the Midnight Society. I like to call this tale, Don't Cheat on Your Fucking Husband! Even though she didn't. Three's a Crowd. This is Tales from the Crypt Season 2, Episode 5. Episode 5 already. Yes, it's episode 5. I looked earlier. This show is essentially about this. A guy overreacts and sees things that aren't there, and he thinks that his fucking wife is screwing his former best friend and best man at his wedding during their anniversary trip. Now, granted, let's just cut to the bullshit. Okay, she doesn't cheat on him, but that bitch was making it look like fucking sure enough she was gonna suck his dick behind a boat somewhere.
Yeah.
And they got touching her leg and shit when they were in the car. I've been like, motherfucker.
Yeah. See, she. Well, let's start at the beginning. Okay, so they show up.
Well, God was there.
They show up. They're in this hotel room, and this guy's sitting there, and he looks like Gary Busey's forgotten son.
He does look like Gary Busey.
He's got the blonde hair and everything. His name's Gavin O'Hara.
From like the Hills Have Eyes version.
O'Hurley. Gavin O'Hurley.
That's not a real name.
Gavin O'Hurley. That's why you didn't see him in much stuff, because he's a pretty good actor. But no one can pronounce his fucking name. They call it Gavin O'Hurley instead.
I would just call him Gavin. Gavin O'Hurley. Something you got diagnosed with in Puerto Rico.
But no, he's sitting there and he's drinking the little, the mini, because if you're drinking those hotel shots, you're getting fucked up. Life is weird. So he's got all those scattered around. He's smoking a cigar or whatever, smoking a cigarette. And his wife shows up with this pretty new fur coat, and he's like, "What the fuck have you been?" She's like, "I was out shopping." He was like, "You said 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 tops." He's like, "It's been like 4 hours, whatever it was, but she's been gone for so long." And it's really confusing.
1 penny, 2 penny.
1 batch, 2 batch.
Yeah.
Fuck's my best friend.
The thing about it is that it's supposed to be their anniversary, and he's been hanging out by himself the entire fucking time. Of course you're gonna get drunk because there's alcohol to drink, and she's not there, and she's out with that asshole, and he's buying her shit.
But here's the thing.
And she's like, "Why are you so upset?"
That asshole.
You really for real?
Paid for it's their anniversary. Yeah. But he paid for them to come to this fancy hotel to come hang out with him on their anniversary as a wedding gift to them. He paid for this expensive trip. But so apparently, she goes out shopping alone with him, which let's put the blame fairly on all three parties here, okay? She did leave him on his anniversary to go shopping with another man.
Yeah, and he bought her shit.
But and yeah, you don't buy another man's wife.
You don't do that shit.
You don't do that shit.
Fucking cunt.
On the friend and on the husband. Why did you fucking go? Why didn't you go?
Well, he wanted to.
Who lets their woman go shopping with another man?
He told her. He was like, probably being like, "You know what? I'm gonna trust you. Whatever. It's gonna be good. I'm gonna be a nice guy." And she said 1 hour, and that bitch was gone till sunrise.
He should have been gone with her though.
No, fuck that.
Why leave her alone?
Maybe it was a test. Maybe he should have been like, "Hell yeah, you can go, honey. I guess I'll sit here by myself alone in this fucking chair and watch TV." And she should have been like, "You know what, honey? I'll stay with you. You're right. This is our anniversary. Fuck Ted." And you know.
But Ted did pay for the vacation, so you gotta be nice to Ted.
I'll be nice to fucking Alan on the phone or something, but that bastard not only goes out and buys that bitch a fur coat, latest shit when she comes in, then he calls her when they're getting ready to fuck, because she's like obviously distraught and talking about, he's crying and saying, "I don't want to lose you, you're the best thing I've ever had." And she's patting his head, she's like, "Oh honey, it's gonna be," and then she's like, "Alan's calling, I really gotta answer it. I gotta answer it." I'm like, motherfucker, are you serious?
The husband does need to grow a sack in that scene though, right? Because he lets her go shopping alone with another man, which you shouldn't do anyways, and then she comes back, and she's being an asshole to him about it because he is upset, and she's just like, "Oh, stop it, you're ruining everything." And she's like getting dressed all naked, and she's like, "This vacation sucks."
Did you notice how quickly he changes his tone though when he starts getting naked? He's like, "I'm sorry." Because he's trying to get some ass later on. He's like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah, he's like, "I'm sorry." That's when he gets all weepy and shit. But he does need to grow a sack, dude, because he gets all like, "You're the only good thing I got," and then he's like crying and like humping her, like he's crawling on top of her wife. It's like, this is the least sexy thing that has ever happened.
I think honestly, it's more of those. I mean, maybe something bad had happened to him, and in his mind, he felt very like cheated in a way, because this guy's got all this fucking money, and he's like, he's rubbing in my face. I can't give you all the things this asshole can give you, but
let me rephrase that. I get why he's upset. I get that. But
he was drunk.
He should have grown a sack and said, "No, I refuse your vacation trip, sir, because you want to fuck my wife." And he should have been like, "Sally, we're not fucking going. I'm taking you to the goddamn Outback again."
Outback again? Oh my god, my husband really knows how to treat a wife.
If you're that worried about it, why accept the invitation?
Also, you gotta remember too, we didn't mention this. The fact is, he's fucked up to begin with because he can't give her a baby.
Yeah.
And he does mention later on that if it hadn't been for Alan, that they would probably be up in some cheap motel trying, you know, 500th attempt on a baby or something. So he's already got a lot of problems and issues because he thinks he's shooting blanks. So some people are going to say, well, can you not understand he's being a prick? No. I think he's very justified. I'm sorry. You don't come home that fucking late with a brand new goddamn, you know, Papa's got a brand new bag, and then act like everything's okay and you're being unreasonable. Absolutely not. That guy had every right to be pissed off.
But he should have never let her go by himself anyway. That's all I'm saying. He did, but he should have never let her go by herself anyways.
Anyhow, so we get to Alan. We meet Alan. Alan is a fucking schmuck. He's a douchebag asshole.
Yeah.
And
he looks like Richard Grieco.
There's things about him like there's
Richard Grieco. All right.
Sorry, 21 Jump Street. But you know they're on the yacht or whatever, and again Richard is by himself. He's depressed, and you can tell. Alan and her just having a fucking great old conversation. He's like, and he's watching, and they keep looking back at him. And I'm like, God damn you and this is what I really was thinking. And then when then they're in their car and he grabs her fucking leg and he's like, I always regretted not stealing away from you, Richard. He was like, yeah, bitch, how about that fucker? Like, he was like, I would have been like, pull this goddamn car over. I'm gonna mace you, bitch.
Pick up that man's hand and break it. Or at least slap it away like a woman.
Give that man his money.
Stop touching my wife, Steven.
Do something.
But don't just go, you have a lot of money.
Yeah, but eventually as it goes on, we find out he gets extremely paranoid and loses his fucking shit. Yeah. Like he loses his mind. He's gone. He's over the edge. He's over the edge and through the woods. Grandmother's
tearing me apart.
And oh God, I can't take it. And he's way drinking too much. And when Alan comes in to get him because they've been what he thinks in his mind. Richard thinks that they're going to tell him that she's leaving him for Alan. Like this is what he's all like imagined happening. And Alan comes to get him. To take him to his cabin, to Alan's cabin. He basically kills this motherfucker by shooting him with an arrow through his fucking heart.
But you can't blame him for thinking that's happening because in the midst of all this, like from that scene to now, what we're talking about, there's like 32 scenes of his best friend and this girl rubbing each other's face, kissing each other's cheek, rubbing each other's legs. Like, why is she downstairs alone with him at this point in the cabin? At some point wearing lingerie and having a drink outside anyways. Like, you got, like, your husband is clearly... has some very, very deep issues.
He's not feeling it.
He doesn't have very good self-esteem. And you're down here with this rich motherfucker alone in the middle of the night laughing and kissing each other and dancing and touching each other. Like, just stop touching each other for 5 fucking seconds. I would have thought they were banging too.
There was no doubt the way it made it look like she was definitely taking it up the tailpipe. And he was fucking having to watch it, the poor guy. Yeah. And so obviously he loses his fucking mind. And I mean, I'm not condoning murder, but in this case, fucking let him burn. But no, I mean, he shoots Alan in the fucking chest. And by the way, before we get to the kill part, I do want to... there is one part, I just laughed because it's funny. When he yells, he finally does get mad and he yells at her. And he's like, what's her name? Dylan. It's like, Alan, he's screaming at her and then she runs out of the house crying. And then Alan's like, you really are an asshole, Richard. And then he runs outside, Richard runs outside, he says, "Shut up." He's like, I'm the asshole! You're the one fucking my wife!
And he throws the fucking lid down.
That shit was funny as hell.
But that's what shit goes crazy, because he walks back in from that and he picks up the whiskey and goes, and he fucking chugs it. Yeah. And as soon as he chugs it, he looked like he actually did it, because he got done and he went...
Like, he took the fucking cap off and wine bummed right back.
Like, his face looked like a surge commercial. It was like,
he's like, look at the surge! He's like, when he was drinking, I was like, I'm an outlaw. Quick on the draw. But anyhow,
when the dude comes back to the cabin and he's like, we have a surprise for you. Like, the show is leading you on so bad. Like, you know, as watching this, that they're not actually fucking. They just have a really nice surprise for him, and that's what they're trying to keep secret. But they lead it on really easily. But the guy shows back up at the cabin. He's like, hey man, he's like, where are you at? He's like, we want to show you something. We got a surprise for you. And he shows up fucking, like, just looking better as shit, looking crazy. And he stalks him with his crossbow. And dude, this guy is a hell of a fucking actor in this. This Gavin O'Hurley guy.
He's good, man.
Dude, he's really fucking good. He scared me. Like, he was scary as fuck. Like, it was intense.
I like when he was like, he's like, we got a surprise. He's like, I got a surprise for you too. He's like, come here. Like, at that point, if I'd been out, like, I'm just gonna go outside. I don't know what to.
He was like,
I don't want to come upstairs.
He was like, does she make that the sound in the back of her throat when she comes? He's like, and he's holding a crossbow. He's talking about the steps while he's doing. He's like, does she make that sound when she comes? That little tickle in the back of her throat, like an animal dying. And he goes, nah. God damn. He starts making the noise while he's about to shoot him. I'm like, fuck, this guy's crazy. Oh. He likes to fucking rub Bisquick on his nuts.
So he kills Alan with the crossbow and shoots him in the heart with the arrow. Then Della comes back home to find, this is where he looks like fucking Buffalo Bill from the Silence of the Lab. He's like, would you fuck me? Like he's wearing her coat and he's like going like, Like, and he's doing this, he's like, don't you like my coat?
That was fucking scary.
I know.
There's blood all over it and shit too.
And then she's like, where's Alan? He's like, I would be like, you fucking care about Alan? I'm wearing your fucking coat covered in blood.
So he wanted some poetic justice. He wanted to choke her to death with the lingerie that Alan had bought her.
Yeah.
And then he does.
It's kind of reminding me of that thing from 13 Ghosts, like, the bitch broke my heart, so I broke her neck. Anyway, he chokes her to death, he strangles her, then he's like, oh baby, come on, let's go to Alan's place because I'm feeling frisky. And I'm like, wow.
Fuck your dead wife, bro.
And then he drags her down the fucking boardwalk to Alan's, cabin, and he opens the door, and they have this surprise, you're gonna be a father kind of thing, and that was what they were planning the entire time, and he's like, and it was like, but I was still mad at the bitch. I'd be like, you know what, she shouldn't have been doing that. If she hadn't been doing that earlier, I wouldn't have done this. It wouldn't happen like this, would it?
But that was the big surprise, is that they had all these people, like all his family and friends waiting in this cabin to tell him, you're a dad. And I suspected a surprise party. I expected that they were going to do something nice and he was going to kill him before he found out. But when you see the sign and it zooms in on that, congratulations, you're a dad, I was like, oh!
I know, two for the price of one! Oh. But yeah, it kind of reminded me also of Ace Ventura when he gets caught on the teleprompter beating the shit out of that thing. And he's like,
that's exactly right.
Yeah, because it was like, oh my shit, my finger was in the cookie jar and you caught me. Because, but what do you do at that point? You're dragging this bitch along and you walk in there, see her, that makeup looked good, but she her neck's all crooked at an angle.
Yeah.
It would have been like, this is awkward. It's like she's sleeping.
I was waiting for Corinne to jump out and be like, we wasted the good surprise on you.
Oh, Hooters.
All in all, though, the way this whole episode plays out, it's easy to watch. It's got great acting. You got crazy fucking Gary Busey, actually scary fucking murder going on. The writing's done really well. There's an asshole in it. There's a love triangle. There's a great fucking twist at the end. Dude, this is my favorite episode of Tales from the Crypt so far.
It's got a good fortune cookie middle to it. Don't cheat, motherfuckers. Just don't do it, because you might wind up being choked out with pantyhose. You don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna give. You know what? I don't think we give ratings on the episodes necessarily.
It's my favorite.
It's the best one so far that we've watched. I thought the last episode was better or good. This one's better than that. This is top notch. And it's like John Casey, or the Crypt Keeper, says. Talk about dragging your wife to a party. But yeah, man, a great fucking episode. I hope you guys check it out for sure. And thank you so much for being sexual with us.
Yeah! Comment down below, what's your favorite Tales from the Crypt episode of all time? We love your fucking faces, and if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button and get some goddamn wham up in your
boom! Fuck yeah! Goodbye, boys and chums!
I'm an asshole! You're the one fucking my wife!
I didn't do it!
We watched a movie. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie. Yeah. You know what? We did a review. We watched a movie. We watched a movie.